Well, hello everyone, all people watching, which is probably not that many, but today I'm going to, just a sec, I'm gonna close some things real quick. There we go. Today's video is gonna be a little bit of a fun, I don't know, interactive-ish one. I'm just here to rank Genshin men. The category is by like romantic interest. However, I'm going to try and keep it like semi-realistic. I don't want to be like, I'm not going to be delusional about it, I promise, I swear. Although there probably will be a little bit of delusion going on, but you know, when is there not a little bit of delusion going on with these kinds of games? So, yeah. So I'm here with a cup of coffee, and before I jump into it though, I think I'm going to start off with doing like the Genshin and stuff like that, just to, I don't know, maybe wait until, see if more people jump in or not. And besides, I think the Genshin is pretty fun. I haven't done it in a long time though, so we'll see if I'm good at it still. Yeah. So, okay, I think that's kind of all I need. So I'm gonna go to, oh boy, there's nothing here. Let me grab the, okay, there we go. Ha ha, I did it. I'm so smart. Okay. So yesterday's character was Amber, which means they wouldn't do Amber again, right? I'm gonna start with, I feel like, because they also go by patch, it's kind of smart to start with like Inazuman characters because they're kind of in the middle, so then you can get a good read on whether or not they were released like, I feel like maybe it's like Inazuma / Sumeru characters, but I kind of want to do Ayaka, even though she was like really early Inazuma. Ugh. Okay, well, I feel like this actually narrows it down a lot more than people might think. So not Cryo, not Inazuman, not Sword, after 2.0. I don't know if 2 arrows versus like 1 arrow means anything. Like, I don't know if technically like that means that's a lot later. I could think of like Fontaine characters, like your Villette. We'll see what we got. Oh, even later than that. Okay. And they're not Hydro Catalyst and they're not from Fontaine. So I feel like the talent book thing, as much as I do know these things, I feel like it's not that useful. Like, I do know the characters, like what books they use on the whole, like most of them I do know them, but like I don't pay attention to that. I usually go based off of like region and like patch and whatnot. So later, is it like a new character? Unreleased character. They're actually going for Skirk. Let's see. Not Hydro. They're not even from Fontaine. They have to be from like Natlan. Maybe like Mawika? I don't know, that was a guess, but like, okay, I'll take it. I had like nothing to go off of though. Let's go. I'm so smart. You know, I'm thinking, I was like not sure if I wanted to put on any music for this, but I kind of hate having nothing going on in the background. Maybe I'll open Spotify real quick. But don't worry, I'm gonna play like Hoyo Mix music because I low-key feel like that will be the least likely to give me a copyright strike. So, Hoyo Mix. I think I do have Spotify on here. I'm going to turn it down pretty low though, and then I think I need to filters. Okay. Compressor. This part's not very interesting. I imagine people are going to be like, I'm not watching through this. It's a good thing, I think. Do I want the ratio really high? I do. As far as I remember, you kind of want it like this. I say that? Okay. That should work. People are like, what are you talking about? You didn't do anything. Okay. Let's do Kevin. Okay. Hopefully that should just have like a little bit of sound. Okay. Probably. Hopefully not too bad. I didn't put it on too loud either, so. Ugh, that's kind of intense though. Okay, so I got normal mode, daily quote. Let's see. Any plans for dinner? If not, let's eat in the tribe. They always bring out the best food and drink for champions. This sounds a lot like something Eon-san would say. I don't have Eon-san personally, but unlocks in 2 tries. I don't know. I have a feeling Eon-san might be the one. Cause like tribe, champion, I don't know. This seems, if it's not, okay, it's not. I feel like it has to be a Natlan character because no one would say tribe. Unless it's Sumeru, but I don't think they're called, I don't think they're tribe. I don't think they're a tribe. Varessa, does she say that? Unlock a hint. Joke's on you, I don't know whose voice that belongs to. Wait, would I know the Japanese? No. Lauren Amante. Or Amont, maybe. I don't know this one. Which character says this? Any plans for dinner? If not, let's eat in the tribe. They always bring out the best food and drink for champions. I feel like they're the two that I would think of. Okay, but I know, because I know that Varessa's English voice actor isn't Lauren Amont. Or Amante. I don't know. Sorry to this person if I'm saying your name completely incorrectly. Let's see. Voice actor. Like, I feel like you'd have to be a... Because I know pretty much all the voice actors' names in the game. So the fact that I don't know this one made me think it had to be, like, Natlan, because I've been playing in the Japanese lately, but I don't... Why is this so hard? I'm struggling! I'm having issues! They always bring out the best food and drink for champions. Would it be like Kachina? Because I don't think I know Kachina's. It's not Kachina. Man, if I just looked up the voice actor, that would be cheating, and I'm not gonna do that. This one's difficult. I don't know. Just bring out. Because Champion made me think of the Collection of Plenty. But now that I'm like... But apparently I've exhausted my Collective of Plenty options. It's not Varessa, and it's not Yansan, and it's not Kachina. Again, I'm trying to think of, like, characters whose voice actors I don't know. Who their voice actor is. But I'm like, I know who Mualani's is. I know who Seat Lolly's is. Can't be Malwika as well. I don't think it's Malwika, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know Shalonen's either. I feel like if they're both Malwika, okay, they're not. Well, okay, well that's Shalonen. That's Shalonen. I'm not very good, apparently. Oh, Chaska? Chaska? Okay. Why did I think it was Shalonen? Maybe I don't know how to identify their voices. I should have paid a little closer attention. And if you're like, I couldn't hear it, I don't think I have the sound turned on for my OBS, for my browser. Which is fine. You guys don't need to know what it sounds like. But now you know, it's Chaska. And I didn't get it right, so I'm stupid. To be fair, they kind of sound similar, I would think. Okay, daily ability. Ooh. Let's... I wish I could, like, zoom in a little bit. I probably could zoom in if I ever learned how to do that. We got this little thing going on. This makes me believe it's an electro ability of some kind. But this kind of looks like it could be Geo. Obviously, this isn't a character I use very often, or else I would recognize this ability, I think. I feel like I need a little bit more revealed to me. I'm gonna guess... Now, guessing Ningguang might sound weird, but it kind of reminds me of her, like, Jade screen. Okay. No, this is, like... This has to be Kaniche. Look at that. The pixel art... It has to be Kaniche. I was gonna say, I just said it wasn't a character I use very often. Flame Spirit Pact. This isn't... Maybe I'm wrong, but this might not be one of his... I did say ability, but it could be one of his passives, not one of his, like, not his skill or burst. But I was like, the pixelation made me go, oh, well, it has to be Kaniche, because he's the only one with that in his kit. Okay. Daily emojis. Spicy pepper. Now, this is either Chongyun because he can't handle spice, or it's a character who really likes spicy food. But I feel like we don't... Do we know of any characters that really like spicy foods in the game? Like, are there any that... They just, like, love spicy food? Is that, like, a thing? Well, I guess, Xiangling, like, Guoba drops a chili pepper, right? My first guess is Xiangling. I knew it. I don't know if I... Yeah. That one probably would have made me go, huh? But I would still know. Now I'm gonna do Honkai Star Rail, and then probably I'll move on to the tier list. So no worries. I'm just putting it off just in case people want to, like, come into the chat at their own leisure, or, like, come to the video at their own leisure. So I'm not starting right away, and people are like, I missed half the tier list. Okay, so Star Rail. You just gotta start on a character and hope for the best. Version, again, I think shooting for a middle-of-the-road version, probably like a character from Penacony is smart. Or the Shinsho, but I feel like Penacony's pretty smart. Acheron! No. I'll do Robin. Because then I can work my way up or down the version. Okay, version 2.2. Yeah, so the Genshin one had 2 arrows going up when it was, like, when I guessed version 2.0, I think. And it was a character from Natlan, like, really, like, it was Mawika. So I guess if you haven't done the Genshin duel yet, spoiler alert, the character one is Mawika. So it's a little less than version 2.2. Doesn't use this weekly boss. They aren't from Penacony. They aren't physical, and they aren't Harmony. So they are probably from the Shinsho, I would guess. And then... I guess the question is, how much do the, 10 Stone Hearts, like the IPC representatives, they're technically not from Penacony, but would they be considered Penacony because they came out during Penacony? I don't know. So... At least I need to think more... I need to think older characters. What if it's March 7th Hunt? I doubt it, but, like... March 7th The Hunt. Okay. Oh, they're like... Oh, she came out in 2.4. I'm stupid. I'm so stupid. I forgot she came out after. I'm throwing. Okay. I'm just gonna think of... Okay, but now we know they're not Imaginary or Hunt, because I was actually gonna consider Dr. Ratio. They're not physical, it's not Argenti. Who came out in 2.0? Was it Sparkle? Sparkle was one of the characters who came out in 2.0, I think. But is she does that count as Penacony? Or do I have to think of Shinsho? It is considered Penacony. Okay. I'm probably not gonna get this one. I'm not doing too great. I'm kind of throwing. I think the March 7th hunt one made me throw. I'm just gonna say they have to be from the Shinsho. Luofu. And like characters like Jiaoqiu, Moza, and Fei Xiao came out after Penacony, so not any of them. So it's probably not Luocha. I'm guessing it would have to be way. It would be way 2 down arrows if I had guessed Robin and the character was Luocha. So I'm like, not Luocha, not Blade. I'm like, Danheng IL, potentially, but like, I don't know if... 1 point... Who came out in like 1.7 and 1.8? Or like, how much... Oh, this is hard. They're not quantum, they're not imaginary, they're not physical. They could be fire. Gweneifen? When did Gweneifen come out? I feel like she was a little bit after. Okay. Not from the CN show. Even earlier than 1.4? This is Xynthia. Right? I think this is Xynthia's boss drop. So they're not from the Xinsho Alliance either. So they have. Now I'm confused. Astral Express. It's not Danheng though. I only have one more try and I don't think I'm gonna get it. I think I'm going to lose. So the characters it can be are Wind. Why did I guess Sparkle when I knew it wasn't Harmony? Okay, major throws here. These two, I should not have guessed these two at all. Those were throws. So we know, so it can be Wind, the character can be Wind, Lightning. It better not be Jing Yuan. I feel like that's way too soon. But they're not from the Xinsho Alliance, so it can't be Jing Yuan. Ice. Those 3. They're not from the Xinsho Alliance. So I feel like I am honestly confused. I don't know who to think. Because they have to have been recent enough to use this. Did we... There's like... But some of these characters came in at the very beginning of the game. So are they from Belobog? I feel like they have to be from Belobog, probably. But were there any Belobog characters that came out, like, way after? Oh, I ain't Shireen, because before 1.4. What if I cheat? I kind of want to cheat. World or faction? Herda. No, because Herda wouldn't use this. She'd probably use this one. I need whoever uses the Xynthia one. The path type could be, we know it's not Nihility, Harmony, or Hunt. So it could be Destruction. It can't be Remembrance, because that would be too new. But it can be Preservation, Abundance, Destruction. How many paths are there? Because Hunt is... I think of it in terms of, like, how much DPS they do. Because it's like, we have, like, Hunt, Destruction, and Erudition, so it could be Erudition. Bruh. I don't know. This one's hard. Well, it's hard because I threw. I shouldn't have guessed March or Sparkle, because those both screwed me over pretty badly. Sooner than version 1.4, they have Ice, Wind, or Lightning. They use this. They use the Xynthia boss drop. They have to be destruction, erudition, preservation, or abundance. Trying to think of characters that would fit this. They can't be from the Cian show, so they have to either, and they can't be from the Astral Express or Penacony. So they have to be from Belobog, I'm pretty sure. My other guess would be like the IPC, but we know it can't be Topaz or Adventurine. Well, Topaz would be my only other guess, just based on the fact of the version number. Who came out? Okay, I feel like when I guessed 2.2, and it was earlier, it should have had 2 down arrows if it's even sooner than 1.4. Or maybe it just does this if it's like more than like a whole version, a whole patch? What would you call it? Like a whole world before? This song's good. What is this one? Hearth's Homecoming, Love and Mystery. Probably from, I'm guessing Tears of Temis, or Temis, or however it's pronounced. Like, another guess of mine would be Jing Liu, but I think she would technically be considered Sancho Alliance, so that's not right. Like, lightning... What, like... We have no lightning preservation characters. We have Bailu as Abundance, but she's from the Cian show. I don't think it's a lightning character, I'm just gonna say that. I don't feel like it's a lightning character. Bro, this is so hard. It doesn't have to be hard. It just is. Because I'm not very smart. Because I threw away 2 guesses on these 2 when I should have known better based on the harmony and the patch number. Oh gosh. Maybe I do look it up because I can cheat. Technically, that's not against the rules, you know? There's no rules on this. I'm just I wouldn't look up the answer, technically. I'd look up whoever uses the Xynthia weekly boss. Because I think it's Xynthia. I'm, like, pretty sure that's the Xynthia weekly boss drop. If I'm wrong about that, too, then it's just, like, it's Jover. Go Jover. Which it would be Go Jover. I'm wearing a Gojo shirt today. Okay, I'm gonna look it up. Hush. It's to know, except literally everyone who watches this video will know. Okay, I'm gonna look up Xynthia HSR. She's a destruction. Okay, but like, what's her like drop called? That's probably more important here. Xynthia. She was released in version 1.2. Xynthia the Undying, is that the boss? Yes. Okay, so... What's the reward? Show me the reward! Bruh. Cloud him roar! Shut your mouth. Okay, I don't want the... No. I thought they would show me the reward I get, but I don't see a picture of it on here. Enemy info, stats, skills. Unique status effect, Cloud Himroar, gameplay notes. Achievements. Echo of... Like, can you show me... Because what is it called? Xynthia the Undying. Why do they have so many words? Oh, okay. But can you just show me what her This is dumb. People are gonna be like, why are you sounding... But I'm like, what is... Oh, I love this song. It's from Genshin Impact 3rd, but I like it. People are like, I can't hear it. That's fine. What is this image? Regret of infinite something. That's what you gotta do. You open a new tab. Okay. It's Regret of Infinite Akuma. That's what it's called. I just want to know which characters use it. A lot of them do. Oh my gosh. Oh, it could be Huo Huo. No, but she's Xianshou. Literally, I just need like one character who... None of these characters... Topaz, but it's not Topaz. Argenti, it's not physical, it can't be Argenti. Blade, he's from the Xianshou Alliance. Dongheng, he's from the Xianshou Alliance and the Astral Express. Not Fei Xiao, not Fushou, not Fugue, not Guanifan, not Hanya, not Huohuo, not Jiaoqiu, not Jingliu. Can't be Kafka, can't be Luca. It's none of these characters. Okay. Oh, wait. Blade is technically a Stellaron Hunter, isn't he? It's probably Blade. There we go. I didn't have to look it up. I didn't look it up. That's crazy. I didn't look it up. That's crazy. I didn't cheat. I did not cheat. Okay. Honkai Star Rail daily quote. My wake span for today is running out. I must return to my coffin. Take care. Instantly I think of Lotcha, but does he sleep in his coffin? I feel like he doesn't, but I have to. Okay, I was like, I don't think he sleeps in his coffin. I think he has like an Eon in there. My wake span for today is running out. I must return to my coffin. Take care. Wake span. That's an interesting way to say that. But like, does anyone else sleep in a coffin? We don't have any vampires, right? I kind of feel like a character like Shui Yi might say that. Shui Yi. It was Shui Yi. I was like, wake span makes it sound like you are an automaton of some kind with a limit of how long you can be awake. And guess who's an automaton of some kind? Okay. Honkai Star Rail daily ability. What's this? What is this, man? What is this? What kind of hint would I need for this? It looks like its own image. It looks like it's not cut off. It has thorns, though. Lotcha has that, right? It's not Lotcha. I just looked at the thorns. I didn't really look at this. It kind of looks like, how much did you actually reveal then? Is it like a... I cannot tell what this is supposed to be, by the way. It doesn't look like anything to me. This looks like a wing of some kind, of course. Atlan music, I believe. Yes. Why not? I don't know. I'm not very smart. Again, I'm gonna say this is a character I probably don't use very much, so I don't recognize it, but then it's gonna be a character I actually do use a lot, and I just don't pay attention to this stuff, because I don't. I thought Lotcha because of the thorns, because I know his, like, ultimate ability has thorns in it, but this looks like a wing. There's more to this part of the image, the, like, white part versus the gray part, that I'm not seeing. I know they rotate it as well. Bro, I have no idea. I might just say, like, I have no idea, and I don't really even want to try, because it's embarrassing when I get it wrong. Does any character have, like, wings? Robin? Sunday? Oh, wait, Sunday has, like, that kind of motif. I don't know if it is Sunday. How could I forget about him? I love him. It's not Sunday. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. I still can't say I know what that is. I have no idea what this belongs to. And I say I played this game. How can I not know these things? I just don't. Like I said, I'm not very smart. Oh wait, this kind of looks like a heart. Okay, actually, the more I look at it, the more I feel like oh wait, no, it just reminds me of the Dendro symbol. I was gonna say, the more I look at it, the more I think I recognize it. Girl, you don't recognize it. You're delusional. I am delusional. That's what this video's literally going to be about, how I'm delusional, so once I get to it. I get a hint in one try. Ultimate? Oh, wait, it's an ultimate? Is that... Are they supposed to tell me? So this is someone's ultimate? It kinda... Well, I know what Fei Xiao's looks like, though, because I play her in trial runs so much, so I feel like I know what Fei Xiao's looks like. I feel like the thorns are, like, important, but I don't know of many characters who have thorns in their motifs, other than, like, Luocha and Sunday. There are probably more, I just am a person who doesn't know things. I only know the characters I know. That I play a lot. Are there any, like, newer characters? I don't think so. Like, it doesn't really feel like Mighty or Castorus. Could be Castorus. I don't feel like it is, though. Well, if it says it's an ultimate ability. Because it says the hint unlocks in one try, but this is ultimate icon, which I think is the whatever they're doing. So it has to be someone's ultimate. I don't know. I'm just gonna say Castorus. Justice hereby blooms. Justice. So someone who's all about that justice. Who's all about justice? I feel like Bronya, but it's not Bronya. I feel like Luca, but I don't think it's Luca either. Justice. I don't know. Who likes justice? I could also say, like, and it says hereby blooms. It's obviously... Oh, wait, no. The ultimate icon is different, then. It's not an ultimate. Justice hereby blooms. Who has leaves, then? That's a lot of characters to think about that I don't even know their name. That I've probably forgotten, like, half their names already. I don't know. It's kinda hard. I'm trying to think of characters who have, like, that kind of stuff in their kit. Plants. I don't know very many planty ones, though. And if it's Justice... I was gonna say, like, Ron may suit her very much. I feel like if I rotate it, like, so the top is at this point is at the top, I feel like that's what it's supposed to look like, but maybe it's supposed to look like this. Justice. Is that like a Fei Xiao thing? Like I said, I thought I knew her abilities, but it's okay. Literally the rose, it's Argenti. How do you spell its name? How do you spell Argenti? Again, this is a character I know. This is a character I play, and I can't even identify it. Okay. Let's do the daily emojis, and then I'll move on to my the scales. That makes me think of Hanya first. It's not Hanya. So scales of balance. So we're thinking of like a law, justice, and the stars. Heh. Who's all about that? About law. I feel like this is law to me. This is night sky. Anyone use like the night sky in their kit? I feel like Asta, but this doesn't give Asta. Who are like the lawmaker? Oh wait, this reminds me of Fushuan. I feel like Fushuan. Yeah. I was gonna say she kind of has this kind of stuff going on in her kit. Okay. That seems good. Okay. Kind of have to go to the bathroom already. That sucks. Too bad, Megan. You gotta deal with it. Okay. Gotta just deal with it. Okay, so now that I'm done Shindle, Honkai Star Rail, Genshin, whatever. I could do this Endless Zone 01. But I don't really want to do that. So we're just gonna go ahead and move on to the tier list. Woo! I think it should be good. Oh, that's not what I wanted to look at. The tier list. Okay, yeah. Okay, it looks good on my screen. Okay, so there are a couple of tiers here, and I'm not in the way, so that's good. Sometimes my character's just in the way for no reason. I'll explain the tiers before I get into it. So first and foremost, we have Hand in Marriage, no questions asked. These are characters that, like male character. I'm doing male characters because I'm straight, female, so I'm attracted to the men. But, so Hand in Marriage, no questions asked means these are characters that I feel like I have good chemistry with, or I would have good chemistry with, regardless of any situation. Like, we get along really well, there wouldn't be very many issues getting to know each other or anything like that, and I just love them! Second tier, Hand in Marriage, some questions asked. These are characters that I feel like I could get along with really well overall, but also, like, on top of that, I feel like there were some things we need to work through before it became a thing. Like, it's like, I'm not opposed, like, I really like this character, and I'm definitely not opposed with being in a relationship with them, but there's some things I need, like, some of these characters, I think that the section will make more sense when I put characters in it, because, it's kind of one of those tiers where the characters are, I don't know, they might have more issues. I feel like I would want them to work through before anything happened, before anything happens. I just want to be assured that maybe some of their trauma of their pasts aren't going to affect, like, our relationship. This third tier, sure, why not? These are characters that I like, and it's kind of like I could see it happening, but I'm not super eager about it, or like, I'm not opposed, again, it's like, I'm not opposed to it, but it's not like I love these characters, or I feel like it has potential to be either just friends or something more. Or maybe there would just need to be more effort put into this to make it go up. The next tier is not my type, but we can be friends. And these are characters that like I said before at the beginning of the video, I'm trying to be semi-realistic about this. I'm gonna try and be not super delusional about it. But at the same time, there are characters that, there are types of people you're attracted to and not attracted to. So these are characters I'm, like, straight up not attracted to. Not, like, I can't see myself being attracted to them, really, in any circumstances. I feel like the sure why not is kind of like, I'm not super attracted to them, but I feel like it could also be if we got to know each other better, then I would probably like them more. But I feel like not my type, but we can be friends, It's like, we can be friends. I don't think they would be my type. And then this one, I don't think they like me very much. See, this is on them, because I like everyone. No. How do I describe this one? Well, I think it's kind of obvious, actually. I just don't think they like me very much. Like, it could be I could find them attractive, or be trying to be friends with them at least. But I just feel like due to, like, my personality and their personality, or maybe my own preferences. What is this? Oh, On the Journey. Okay. Why not? I was like, what is... I'm hearing lyrics. What? But yeah. So these are characters that... Yeah. Based on what I know of these characters, they wouldn't really like me, as far as I'm aware. I have, like, certain preferences and personality things that I feel like they would not appreciate or like, and therefore it would not work out. This tier, My Son, these are characters who, to me, they either are too young or just seem too young. Because there are some characters, I feel like the Genshin community could argue about character ages all day and all night, and we could never come to a conclusion about character ages. But it's pretty much, if I'm not sure about the character's age, they're going in this category. Because they can be, they are a child, or they can be my son, I don't care. But I'm not touching that, you know? And even if a character is an adult, kind of, because there are some characters in here I think really ride the line between, or riding sounds weird, I'm not gonna say that, walk the line between, like, teenager and young adult. And, like, even if I theorize them as 18 years old, you know, I'm not gonna do that. Like, I am an adult, but even if they're, like, 18 or 19, I don't like 18-year-olds. That's too young for me, personally, so yeah. I just want to look at something real quick. Oh, that's not what I wanted to look at. Something with my settings real quick. I don't think I can change. Okay, I don't know what I was looking at. Okay. I just realized I was... You can see an echo on here. Oh no! Let me... This has something to do with my chat. You can see, like, an image of me in the background. This has to do with my chat overlay. I just realized that this is a thing. I don't want people seeing that. Here, just a second. We're gonna go to this one so I can fix this real quick. It's probably, which one is it? Let's look at, one of my overlays is not doing what it should be doing, so we're gonna go here, and we're gonna make sure it's not visible. We're gonna save. We're gonna go back to the tier list. We're gonna switch scenes to this one. And it's gone! Yippee! Okay. Alrighty. So I just got finished explaining this tier. This tier is just, you know, the characters that are too young, in my opinion, to put in any of the other tiers. And then this last one, Bruh IDK. This is a character, this is like literally reserved for one character, and it's a character who I don't know much about yet, and so I don't really want to rate them, so. Before we do that, though, I think I am... First of all, I'm gonna check to see if my commands work. Something happened, and, like, all my commands got deleted, so I'm just gonna make sure they actually work. We'll see, though. If they don't work... Okay, they do work. Alright, well, I'm going to run to the restroom real quick, and then we'll get into it. I'm gonna go back to my just chatting scene, and then you guys... I don't know. If people hop in, that's cool. If not, whatever. I'm just gonna say BRB. Okay, I will be right back. me after realizing none of my chat overlays are working because I think it's trying to take from my Twitch chat, which I'm not using, so that's interesting. Oh well. I guess I can try and fix that real quick. I have time. I'm putting this off for so long. I've already been live for I don't know how long. I feel like I've been live for a long time though. Let's see. Okay, maybe that's the problem. Oh, they're back. I mean, it still works, so... Chatbot. Okay, here are all my commands. I didn't realize I had to switch between the two. That's probably my problem. Okay, I'm going to... Dang it. Well, then none of these are gonna work. Maybe I'll just... Well, I'm just gonna quickly add a new command. Because this is a command I did want, but then I switched over to my Twitch profile apparently. But I am currently ranking Genshin Impact men based on romantic... I was gonna say like romantic interest, I guess. Why can't I spell? Not being delusional at all. Winky. Okay, cool. Now if people come in here and they want to know what's going on, they can type an exclamation point what. But now I can't guarantee that the chat's gonna work. Actually, okay, let's see. Overlays, or yeah, my overlays. Yes, here it is. Let's see. Oh wait, I don't want this one. People are like, can you be any worse at this? I'm so sorry. But it looks good now. Things are looking good, and then I messed everything up. So I'm going to get rid of, I'm going to remove this. Then I'm going to add browser. I'm gonna call it, I don't know, we'll call it why do I do this to myself is the question. Like, why do I change things and then I don't look at them properly before I... Okay. Alrighty. Now I know where to put the stream chat. There we go. And then I'm going to... I can't really do it on my other chat. I mean, I can. You guys can get a glimpse of what it's like to change a chat. Because what it looks like to change like a chat overlay. Because I think, yeah, the only way to do this is to come into here with you guys. See, look, there it is. I'm gonna change this though so the chat won't be green. Remove. But yes, you guys get a little look-see at what this is all about. Stream elements. Great stuff. Okay, browser. Then I hit, I don't know, mini chat? You always gotta name it something, and I always try to name it something different than what I already have, because, you know, it'll get weird if you don't do that. Fixing all of this just for a video. And this part's not even gonna be in the video, so, like, why? There we go, look at that. All good. Okay, you guys got to get a little glimpse of what it's like to Hopefully that... There we go. Hopefully that did alright. Maybe explain it again just to be goofy. But anyway, so... Now that the music's calmer, honestly, maybe I might as well. So, okay, so... Again, hand in marriage, no questions asked. Like, this is hands down would marry this character. I don't really need to know much. Well, I would need to know enough about them to know I want to marry them. But, like, there's probably not going to be a whole lot of complications here. It's going to go smoothly. We're going to be fine. I don't see a whole lot of tension or arguments happening here. Like, you always have disagreements in relationships. But this is one I feel like there won't be very many. And I don't need... Like, the chemistry would be really good. Hand in marriage, some questions asked, characters I really like and I could see myself being with. And, like, it going well. However, I think there's probably some, like, trauma, backstory stuff that I would want to make sure they've worked through before we get together. Or just, there might be a little bit more effort. Ready for marriage, you know? Sure, why not? Characters I like and I wouldn't mind being in a relationship with. However, I don't like them as much as probably these two. Like, I'm not as hands down in love with them, delusionally, as these two. But I could see it working out, and I would have no problem with that overall. Not my type, but we can be friends. Characters who I'm not really attracted to, and I don't think I could ever see myself being attracted to, but I would be down to be friends with them. Teehee. I don't think they'd like me very much. I don't think they would like me very much, and that's all I have to say about that. My son, these are characters who I perceive to be too young, or even if they aren't technically children, like some of them I feel like, some of the characters I will put in this tier will probably be young adults, but too young of an adult for me. I headcanon some of the, like, characters that I'm gonna put in here as, like, 18 or 19, but they're not, I'm not attracted to 18/19-year-olds, so they're not going in this tier. Bruh, IDK, this is reserved for characters I don't feel like I know enough about to make a judgment on them. So, without further ado, we're gonna start. I'm just gonna go in alphabetical order, because that's what these are put in. They're in alphabetical order. If you can read the little names, I don't know how easy they are to read, but we have, like, Ether, Albeit. Also, the fact that there are this many men in the game, when we're almost at 100 characters total. All of these character images are taken from their most recent birthday art that was done of them. The exceptions are Ether, because he never has birthday art. Dahlia is not playable yet. Aoife has not had a birthday yet. And Dainsleif, I have Dainsleif in here just because I feel like we know enough about him that it's fine. But he does not have a birthday art either, because he's not playable yet. Because at the time I'm recording this, probably by the time this video goes up, Dahlia will be playable and we'll know more about him. Like, but I feel like we got enough of a taste of what he is like in the quest that I'm gonna put him on this tier, but it's gonna be I'm gonna put him on this tier list, but probably in a section that it doesn't even really matter. So yeah, all these are taken from, like, birthday art because they look so pretty in their birthday arts. I almost used that one D-Luke birthday art from, like, a couple years ago too, and that one was like, it's one that, like, every time I see it I'm like, he's so beautiful. Anyway, with Ether, so for me personally, Ether is, he goes here. In my opinion, I know the Travelers are technically like 500 years old, but we get a lot of dialogue from characters about them looking too young to even drink, and I don't know if this means that they're too young to drink in, like, China or, like, you know, Japan, those areas, or if they're too young to drink, like, in America. Like, I don't know what they're using, I guess, as a measurement for that. Like, I don't know what age, but, like, I don't know. Some people say the Travelers are supposed to be, like, 15 years old, like, appearance-wise, and that's just, like, you're my son. That's too young. You can be my son. I also think we can be friends, too, like, you know. But yeah. Ugh, and I'm trying not to be delusional for the people at home watching. I'm trying to be semi-realistic about this. However, the slight delusion comes in when, because I feel like some of these characters would not care to be in a romantic relationship, period. And they're coming up very, very soon. But this is assuming they do want to be in a romantic relationship of some kind. I'm going off of that assumption. So Albedo, y'all might already know he goes in the top tier because I love Albedo. Also, like playing that most recent quest, Paralogism, whatever you call it. I'm just like, I love Albedo. I forget I love Albedo until he appears in a quest. He goes up here. I just feel like he and I would get along really well. We both have like that weird, I don't know what you call it. Autism? No. No, not that. I feel like I would like to go to Dragonspine with him and like hang out with him while he does his research. And it would be like a relationship where we wouldn't have to talk, I feel like. Like, we would both be very comfortable sitting in silence while we do our own thing, and that just seems like such a big thing for me. And this is assuming, because I feel like Albedo isn't a character who really cares about romantic relationships, but if he did, he's going in this tier. And I'll probably organize this one based on how high up I put them, but like, Albedo would be pretty high up because, like, I'm sorry, I love him. He's so quirky in the best way. Next one is Alhaitham. He goes in not my type, but we can be friends. I actually think Alhaitham and I would make great friends, and that's because we're both very introverted, like, don't talk to me kind of people. Ironic that I'm out here streaming, and, like, I don't like to talk to people. But I feel like, also, I have this weird thing with, like, if I have a friend who likes a character a lot, and I do have a friend who really likes Alhaitham, like, Alhaitham is her favorite character, I feel like I personally can't like that character, and it has nothing to do with, like, oh, I'm stealing their thunder, or I'm stealing their favorite character, but it's just like, I don't know, this character doesn't belong to me. And people are gonna be like, yeah, he belongs to Kaveh, excuse me. I have an argument to make about that, but Kaveh's later, because the K's are kind of, he's right here. Kaveh will go on a different tier, but Alhaitham, where I do like the super smart, and when I'm gonna do this with Honkai characters too in the future. When I do this with Honkai characters, the character like, Dr. Ratio, who a lot of people compare to Alhaitham, Dr. Ratio is going in a tier above one of, I'm not telling you which one he would go in though. Actually, no, I think Dr. Ratio would go in this tier, sorry, spoiler alert. I don't think he would like me very much. I don't think okay. He's not a mean person. Why am I talking about Dr. Ratio? Anyway. But Alhaitham's not really my type. I think overall, like, I find him attractive. Like, he's physically attractive. But he's not for me. And we can be friends, and I think we would make pretty good friends because, you know, quiet introvert. I feel like I would just let him do his thing. If he's like, I don't want to talk right now, I'd be like, fair enough, buddy. Ayato. Ooh. I'm a big Ayato main. Ayato is my only limited 5-star that I have at C1, and I have his signature weapon, and, like, I've spent so much time building and rebuilding him to make him good, but unfortunately, I don't, realistically speaking, and as much as it breaks my heart, I don't think Ayato would like me very much. I don't know. I feel like he's kind of a nice guy in general, but you also don't really know what he's thinking all the time, right? I just don't think he'd like me very much. I just have this feeling that he would find me too passive, probably, because I'm a very passive, I'll say submissive, not in a weird way, not in a freaky way, but I'm a very, I guess, agreeable person, and I feel like he would not like that about me. He also doesn't like cats. He says he prefers dogs because they're loyal. And I love cats. I'm a cat person, he's a dog person. I'm not saying cat people and dog people can't be together, but, like... Actually, it's funny that he says that, because he's definitely a cat, like, personality-wise, but he likes dogs. Anyway, that has nothing to... It has something to do with this. I just don't think he'd like me very much. I just get this feeling that he would be like... You don't stand up for yourself enough, you're too passive, and you just kind of let life happen to you, and I don't like that about you. I don't know. He's not a mean person. I'm not saying he's a mean person and he would be mean to me. I just don't think he'd like me very much. I only have 2 characters in mind for this tier, by the way, so tune in next time. Why did I say tune in next time? We're finishing this tier list today, hopefully, if I don't spend 3 hours talking about each character. So next on my list is Baishu. I think Baiju's going in this tier with Alhaitham. Not my type, but we can be friends. Baiju low-key scared. Did I say Baiju? Did I say Bailu? Baiju low-key scares me, but also I did his story quest, and he's not a mean person, because I feel like when you first meet Baiju and you don't know anything about him, especially since they took so long to release him, you meet Baiju and you don't know much about him, and he kind of comes across as this, like, I don't know. In my opinion, I think a lot of people think this too, he came across as kind of like sus. You're kind of like, I don't know if I trust you. Like, I feel like you're kind of sinister in a way. But he's a nice guy. He's just looking for immortality so he can, like, I think overall so he can save Changsheng, right? But I think it's also for his own, probably, purposes beyond that. But, yeah, the point is, he's not really my type. He's just, like, all things considered. There's a world where I can see him being in the sure, why not? Because I'm like, I wouldn't mind it, probably, if we were in a relationship, but I just don't think he's my type. No. Okay. Next on this list is Bennett. Benito goes in my son because he's a child. I don't know. People can tell me, actually Bennett's not a child because of X, Y, and Z. I feel like he's a child though, so he's my son. He goes in this tier. He's too young for me. Too young, so he's my son. Chongyun goes in the same tier. He's also too young. I feel like these characters, not Ether. Ether, I don't know. He's just young. He just looks young. I'm not even gonna attempt with that. I'm not gonna play with that at all because I'm not one of those YouTubers. But I feel like Chongyun and Bennett are like 16. That's kind of where I headcanon them around that age. So, too young. They're my babies, though. I used to be a Chongyun main. Back in the day when I first started the game because I like his color scheme and all that. Sino. Sino. I'm sorry, guys, but I do think his jokes are kind of funny. Also, I feel like... I feel like we get along really well. And I think it's because I find his jokes funny. But also, I would just let him talk about his special interest of Invocation TCG because we both got that need to explain everything, those things we love. So, yeah. Sino, you're in the... But I really like Sino. I think Sino is a character who... Low-key, if he was a tall male character, like if his model was the tall male character, that character would be I think he'd be like my absolute favorite. It's just the young man, I don't know, young man. The medium male height makes him seem a little bit younger than I think he's supposed to be. Because he's supposed to be, I'm guessing 20s, in his 20s, because he went to the academia and already graduated. And we know Kave's like mid to late 20s based on his hangout, and like Sino's probably a year younger than him, so 2 years? I don't know. But I do think Sino's jokes are kind of funny sometimes, so I feel like he and I would get along really well, and we'd have a good time. He could explain Invocation TCG to me and I would listen. Maybe not well, because my attention span is like 5 seconds. Maybe like 0.5 seconds. But I would, I would let him explain Invocation TCG to him, and then I would explain the lore of Ensemble Stars to him. And I think he'd listen. I like him. I think he's great. And he's like a nice guy, too. He's protective, probably. I said that and I like got weirdly like, I don't know if I want to talk about that. Dahlia. Bruh, IDK. We got a glimpse of his personality in the most recent quest, but I feel like for me, Dahlia, it's too soon. I feel like I need to like play another story quest with him, or like hang out with him or something. He seems kind of young, but the fact that he's a deacon at a church kind of makes me believe he has to be an adult, so maybe he's also bruh IDK because like I don't know his age. But like I feel like he has to be old enough. So like if I knew more about him, I have a feeling he would go in the not my type. He might also not like me very much. I'm not holy. I say stupid things. Actually, no. We'd probably be friends, but I'm gonna put him bra IDK because I feel like I don't know enough about him to make a proper judgment, so. Dainsliff, this one's kind of delusional because bro's been alive for a very long time, and he probably has issues. I'm gonna put him in Hand in Marriage Some Questions Asked, though. Because I really like Dainsliff. I feel like we know enough about him to know his personality. I realize you can't really see their faces in most of these. Oh well. Who cares? But like I said, these are all taken from, like, their birthday arts. So, yeah, Dainsliff, I feel like I know enough about him to know, I feel like he and I would get along pretty well. But I feel like I'd have to be kind of certain that he's over the trauma of his homeland being, like, destroyed. Like, I don't know. And he has, like, the curse that's going on. Like, I would want to make sure we get rid of the curse first. And maybe in part because he has, like, a bunch of issues. I feel like he would take longer to attach himself to someone romantically. That's a really weird way to phrase that. But I feel like he would take a little bit longer to fall for someone, I guess, or to consider a relationship with someone. I feel like he would want to take his time and probably be sure that he's not gonna hurt the person, because I think he's a nice guy. He seems like a sweetheart, but we need to work through your, like, my homeland got destroyed, I'm from Conria issues, and then maybe we can get married after that. Okay, bro. Like I said, as much as I'm trying to be, like, quote unquote realistic about this, there's gonna be a level of delusion going on. D-Luke. I can't put them all up here, can I? He's gotta go in the top tier. Because, like I said, this is based on, like, do I truly think it would work between us? And I think so. Like, I don't know, people are gonna be like, but D-Luke has issues because his dad got killed by the Fatui or whatever. That's like trauma he's got to work through. I feel like it's probably, I mean, like, not to compare trauma, but I feel like Dainsliff has probably been through more, also because he's been alive for longer. But I feel like D-Luke, where I don't think he's completely over the death of his father, I feel like he's at a good point in his life. Like, he feels like, from what I've seen, he seems content, and he's, like, really, really nice. And, I mean, I know I said Dainsliff is also nice, but, like, people mischaracterize D-Luke a lot, I feel like, by making him out to be this, like, really cold, unfeeling, I'm Batman kind of guy. Which he does have, like, the whole, whatever it's called, Dark Knight hero thing going on. But it's just to protect his homeland, and, like, if you ever listen to D-Luke's voice lines, he's a sweetie. He's so nice. He's just a little bit quiet and awkward. Bro's probably on the spectrum just a little bit. But I love that about him, so. So yeah, D-Luke, to me, I think we'd get along really well. I think it's kind of similar to the Albedo thing, where I feel like we could, like, sit in silence together, and it would be fine. Like, it wouldn't be awkward. We'd be cool with that. Maybe that's my standard. Can we sit in silence together? Sino's a no. Because he would want to sign no. Because he'd want to start talking about Invocation TCG, but I still love him. I think we get along great. But D-Luke, I think, yes. We get along great. No issues. We'd be great. Fremine is going in my son because he seems too young, and I love Fremine. He seems like a little sweet boy, but he's a boy in my opinion. So, maybe not for me. I will adopt him if the House of the Hearth ever wants to get rid of him. Gaming. He's also my son. Gaming's a character that I headcanon around the age of 18. Like, for some reason, my brain has landed on the fact that Gaming is 18 years old. I don't think he is, though. Well, I don't know, actually. I don't know why I said that. I just think he's probably about that age. So, my son. I love him. He's kind of like my only Pyro DPS that I've properly built, and even then, his team kind of sucks. Well, he has a good team, but he kind of sucks. I don't know. It's hard to play Gaming properly, I think. Okay, Goro. I think Goro, because he's a general to me, like, because Goro looks really young, but because he's a general, oh, don't do that. He has to be, like, an adult. in my opinion. He's gonna go in the not my type, but we can be friends tier. I don't have very many in this. I don't have no one in this tier. I feel like this one, like I said, these are characters who I'm not as enthusiastic about, but I still like them enough to put them in that tier. Goro, we can be friends. I think that's fine. I don't think I'd be attracted to him. Like, if he was like a grown-up dog man, maybe, but he kind of looks like a twink. He's supposed to be a general, but I don't know why he looks like that. But it's fine. He's nice. He's cute, but just my friend. Just friends. I'm good with just friends. Hazo. I think Hazo will go in the why not. I'm not using that one birthday art, by the way. Not the sus one. This one. I like this one. It's nice. But he goes in this tier. Well, he's a character that I'm not... I like Hazo, and I feel like it could work out between us. I'm just not super enthusiastic about it. Like, I'm open to the concept of that, though. Of being in a relationship with him. But I don't know, maybe the sure why not is like, we go on a date, but it doesn't work out. Maybe something like that, like, but it could also become something more. That's kind of the prospect, like, the idea behind this one. Aoife. I think Aoife, he's hard, because I feel like Aoife and I could get along really well, but I feel like he goes somewhere in these two tiers. A little bit difficult for me to be like, yes. Definitely. Maybe I'll put him in some questions asked. I feel like he doesn't have any trauma that he needs to work through, but I feel like maybe there would just need to be a little bit more time before something built up between us. I think I also just don't know enough about him still. Like, I've played, like, I have him, and I've played, like, the quests he's been in, but I feel like, I don't know. Maybe I would also have to be like, Kakuku can only talk for a limit of this many times a day. Maybe that's it. Kakuku's my hold up here. No, I love Kakuku. Cute little bird. But I don't know. I just feel like not for different, these two are in here for different reasons. Like Dainsleif, it's like, okay, I need you to tell me, to assure me that you're over your trauma. For Aoife, it's just like, we'd probably take things slower, I think. Because I do like him enough, and he's pretty attractive, I'm just saying. Also, when his hat, like, comes off in one of his animations, I'm like, can we have an Aoife skin where he's not wearing a weird old hat, like a weird hat, cowboy hat? But, like, it's fine if it's a cowboy hat, just, I don't want that specific hat that's on his head. You can't even tell it's Aoife, you can, besides, like, the pose, maybe. Like I said, he has no birthday art, so you don't get, like, a close-up of the face like we do with these others. But yeah, I feel like he's a character that it would work out between us. We'd have a comfortable life, but maybe it would just take a little bit longer for us to get together. Ito goes in this tier. I like Ito. He's fun. Who doesn't love the one and Oni? You know? Ooh, Blazing Heart. Song's a banger! But yeah, Ito is a character who I think is fun, and we get along, we'd have a good time. I just don't think it would... I don't want to be in a relationship with Ito. He's probably a little bit too irresponsible for me. I could help him out as, like, a friend, but I'm like, bro, I'm not marrying you, I'm sorry. Maybe himbos just aren't my type. Maybe that's it. I don't know. I don't think there are really any other characters that kind of fit that stereotype that Ito would be put in, but I don't know. Brighter, can't you see that I don't know what she says. It's the time to the finish line. Okay. Let's move on. This song is good, though. I love this song. Okay, Kaya. Kaya goes in this tier. Like I said, there were only two characters I was thinking about for this tier, and Ayato and Kaya were the two I was thinking about. Kaya... This literally only comes from the fact that Kaya says something about, like, D-Luke not liking wine, and he thinks that's super weird, and I don't like alcohol. I don't think he would like me very... That's, like, literally my thing. Also, I feel like Kai is kind of like a let go, have fun kind of person, and I'm all about having fun, you know? Like, I'm all for that. But I'm also just not as, I don't think I'm as impulsive or like go-getter as maybe he would want someone to be. I don't know what kind of person Kaya would want in a relationship, actually. Maybe he would want someone who's more calm and subdued, but I feel like he would want someone who'd be willing to go on, like, do crazy things with him, and I would not be down for that, because I'm not a very impulsive person, like I said. I just don't think he'd like me very much. Also, if I put D-Luke in this tier, like, if I put Kaya in this tier, D-Luke would have to go in this tier, I feel like. So, I would get along really well with D-Luke, which also probably means Kaya wouldn't like me very much. I mean, Traveler gets along well with everyone, of course. And Kaya doesn't have a problem with Traveler, D-Luke doesn't have a problem with Traveler. I just think, also, if I married D-Luke, Kaya would be like, you could have done better. And be like, I don't think so, I like D-Luke. But, yeah, I kind of think Kaya would think I'm boring. I think that's kind of the big thing. He'd probably find me kind of boring. Maybe same with Ayato. Because I feel like Ayato likes to tease people, right? But I feel like I would either not give him the reaction he wanted, or I'd fall for it. But I feel like most of the time I probably wouldn't give him the reaction he wanted, and he would be like, well, that's not very fun. But yeah, these two would not, I don't think they'd like me very much. I don't think Kaya would, I don't know. It's kind of just the alcohol thing, but I just feel like he would not like me very much. Guys, it's time for the best character of all time. His name is Kaveh. He's going in. He's going up front. I love Kaveh, by the way. In case you haven't noticed and are like, what? Literally, there are characters I like in other games and media because of Kaveh's. Like, if I hear Kaveh's English voice in like another piece of media, which I also love his Japanese voice. But if I hear, like, Kaveh's English voice in another piece of media, or another medium, I should stop repeating myself before I sound stupid. But I'm like, I love this character, and it's just because it sounds like Kaveh. So, yeah, like I said, Haytham's not my type, but I would go for Kaveh. I love Kaveh. I think Kaveh and I would get along great. Which I know Kaveh and Kaya, they're not like super similar, but I feel like there are similarities between them, and yet I put Kaya down here. I feel like Kaveh would be a little less judgy in some ways. Not that I'm saying Kaya's like super judgy, I just don't think Kaya would like me. But I think Kaveh and I would get along really well. Unless I told him I'm Alhaitham's friend, then he'd probably be like, I don't know about that. Alhaitham doesn't have friends. If you're a friend of Alhaitham, you must be as terrible as he is. Jokingly, hopefully. Because I know they don't hate each other. But yeah, sorry, Alhaitham and people who ship Kaveh and Alhaitham. Kaveh's mine! He's mine! I just don't see, I see us getting along really well. And I feel like we're both like more on the artistic type people. And so we'd have like that to go off of. And he's broke. I don't know. There's something pathetic about him. I love that. Oh, I love him. He's kind of gullible too, which I don't know if I love that necessarily, but I would help support his financial needs. I'm not gonna say how. No, I would help him out. We'd have a great time. He and I would get along so well. I just know it, okay? That one might be a little bit delusional because he's like literally my favorite character in the game. But I even have a Kaveh pin over here somewhere on my desk, so I think it would work out. I think we'd have a good old time being married. Okay. Next character is Kazuha, and he goes... See, the thing is, Kazuha has dropped in priority for me as far as favorite characters go, but I think he still goes in this tier. I like how there are more characters in this tier than almost any other tier. But again, it's just one of those, I just feel like we'd get along super well. He's very poetic, and that's kind of how I view the world as well. I feel like we're very similar. I feel like similar in a good way. I feel like if you're too similar to someone, sometimes romantically it doesn't work out because you're too similar in certain ways. But I feel like for Kazuha and I, we're similar in the right ways. And this is another one of those, along with Albedo and D-Luke. I feel like we could sit in silence and it would be like a good silence and we wouldn't feel awkward about it. Like we could just sit there and we just have a good time. And I would listen to his poetry. I would let him eat the Naku weed. And I'd be like, what are you doing, buddy? Why are you talking like that? No. Or he could, you know, traveling with him would probably be so much fun. We'd have a good time. Kanich. Kanich is difficult because for me, Kanich is one of those characters that walks the line of, like, he might be too young, but I'm just gonna go on a limb and say, for me, Kanich is more adult age than some of these characters. However, I think I'm gonna put him in the not my type, but we can be friends. Cause, okay, low-key, he's kind of my type, but also, like I said, he feels a little bit too young at the same time. So I can't, but I'm like, I don't know if he's, like, young enough to be my son. Okay, none of these characters are young enough to be my sons, by the way, like, especially not Ether. I'm not 515 years old or whatever, but, like, I feel like Kanich to me leans more towards, like, he is an adult, and adult enough that maybe it's not creepy, but, like, I'm not gonna, because he has kind of, like, a nonchalant, like, he's a good person, and, you know, a good person is what I think everyone would look for in a relationship. But I think we would just be friends. Also, a how is kind of a deal breaker, I'm sorry. Yeah. That's it. Just a how is a deal breaker. Someone left the chat when I said that. You didn't like that a how is a deal breaker? No, just kidding. I just don't think it would. I don't think it would work out. Or I just don't know if I would feel that way about him. I think the more I play as Kanich in Genshin, the more I kind of lean toward him being like my son. But I'm just gonna put him in not my type. Like I said, to me he seems like a young adult. He might actually be a little bit closer to my age than like Gaming, who I said I see him as a young adult, but still too young. Kanich is probably, I don't know. To me, he gives like early 20, or like 20 maybe, 21. I don't know. Why did I click on him? But he's going in this tier. We're friends. We can be besties. We'd hang out. But I don't think I see it going anywhere besides that. Lenny, he goes in the same tier. He's also not my type. He's another character, which is, you know, I think a lot of people say he flirts with the Traveler, so putting the Traveler here and then Lenny here might be kind of weird for some people, but, like, to me, Lenny is an adult. I feel like Lenny is an adult, even though Fremine is, like, down here. But Fremine's younger than them, right? And he's not technically related to Lenny or Lynette. They just, like, call him their brother. But for me, Lenny is an adult. He's just not my type. It's the twinkish characters. I'm not a huge fan of the twink. Well, not like I dislike the twinkish characters. They're just not my type. That's just not my type. Okay. So he goes here. We can be friends, though. I'll go watch his magic shows. Mika, he's also my son. Because he also seems young. Just too young. He kind of falls in the same category as, like, the other young'uns. Ether's just an outlier here, in my opinion, because there's the possibility of him being more, like, an adult, technically, but, like I said, I'm not risking that. He's staying here. But yeah, Mika, he's my son. I'll take care of him, I guess. I'll listen to him going, or however he sounds. Nervylette. Nervylette's an interesting one. I say that. I'm gonna put him up here. I'm gonna put him a little bit further up. Okay, I think I'm gonna put Sino at the end here. Sorry, I love Sino, but he's kind of lower on my priorities when it comes to this. Nervylette, I think it would work out between us. I think the only holdup would be, like, the fact that he lives forever and I do not. And so that's kind of weird. That kind of might be a problem. But I just love Nervulette. He's just so good. He's a good guy. He's actually kind of like a softie, even though he appears to be like super strict and like emotionless. We know that like whenever it rains in Fontaine, he's crying, so he cries. And there are moments we know when he's crying, like, you know, and I would just want to be there to just like comfort him when he's having his moment, when he's crying. Hydro Dragon, please don't cry. Let me wipe your tears, even though I can barely see your face in this image. These PNGs are a little bit... I was thinking I should crop them to show their faces a little bit more clearly, but I was like, I don't know. They're perfect. They're all perfect squares already, except for Ether's. His was not a perfect square. But literally all of these were already squares, so... But yeah, I think Nervulette and I would get along well. I don't really know how to explain it. And maybe it's another one of those, we could sit in silence, and it would be fine. But also, you know, I would try to be understanding of the fact that, you know, he's a dragon. Oh no, he's a dragon, and really pretty. But he's, like I said, he's a good guy, and he would want the best for me, I think, because he wants the best for everyone. You know, he's the one that helped, like, the Melazines get rights, pretty much, in Fontaine. So, Auroron. You know what, when I was thinking about this video, I was pretty sure I would put Auroron in the not my type, but I don't know. He's kind of just a cutie patootie. I feel like Sure Why Not is a good tier for him. Because he's, like, really sweet and, like, kind of silly and kind of oblivious in some ways. But, I don't know. I think it'd be fine. Like, because of his, like, sweeter disposition, I'll say, he kind of comes across as young, like a little bit younger. But I feel like, I mean, I'm gonna say overall, to me, he seems like an adult, and he's just really nice, and he loves animals and growing his vegetables. I could help tend the garden with him, because botany stuff, which I don't know if that's technically like botany, but it interests me as well. Like, I'd be interested in learning about his vegetables, and we could eat the vegetables that he grows. So I see it working out potentially, but isn't Sure Why Not, because I'm not as enthusiastic about him as I am about, like, these guys or these guys, where it's like, these are the ones I definitely want to be with. And these guys are kind of like, I could see it happening, but I'm not as enthusiastic about it. So, he goes in this tier. He's a Sure Why Not. Razor, he's going down here. He's my son. He is a child, probably, so he goes here. Even if he's not a child, he feels too young. And he was raised by wolves, so, like, he probably has, like, maturing to do as a human anyway, so... let's just keep him down here, because he and Bennett are besties, or whatever, so they can be my sons. I'm adopting a lot of kids, by the way. That's not really what it means. It just means I would see them, probably in this case, I'm seeing them as a younger brother, or I just want to, like, take care of them like a son. Like, if they need something, I'll take care of it. Okay, Sethos. Sethos. I feel like I really like Sethos' design, actually. I love his hair. I think that's the thing. I love his hair. It's so poofy. It's so fluffy. But I think he's going in Sure Why Not. This one debatably, because I'd probably have to know that he's not trying to get revenge still on, like, Cyno, who I am married to all these people, by the way. Just kidding. But he's kind of Sure Why Not, because I feel like I'm, like, he's kind of attractive. I feel like the thing is, like, I feel like he needs to be a little bit buffer, and he's just not. That's a whole different video, talking about why I think, like, Sethos, Cyno, Xiao should have, like, a little bit more muscle on their character models. Diluc probably too. Diluc, I know he's not a Knight of Favonius anymore, so him being a little less muscular now than maybe back in the day makes sense, but still. But I don't know. He's, like, cute, and he's, like, kind of silly, and that's nice. But he's Sure Why Not. Like, I could see it working out between us, but I would also... maybe these guys are just in between, like, like, I'm fine with being friends with them, but I'm also fine with being in a relationship with them. So, because Sethos does kind of somewhat seem a little bit younger in some, maybe appearance-wise. But the thing is, I'm pretty sure he's the same age as Cyno, and I feel like Cyno is pretty much an adult, like, pretty confirmed as an adult, so that's kind of my reasoning there. Tartaglia, or Tartaglia, if you're Italiano. Why did I say that? So, maybe I should not say it, but say things like that, but I think Tartaglia is technically how it's supposed to be pronounced. That's why I said that. So Tartaglia... Why did I say they? I guess I'm talking about multiple. I'm like, they're all he's. That's fine. I'm just gonna keep it like that. Tartaglia... I don't think he'd dislike me, but I don't think it would... I don't think... He's not my type. I guess we can be friends. He's kind of... I feel like he kind of needs his own tier, though. Like, I'm a little bit afraid of him because he wants to fight all the time. This opportunity is quite difficult to come by. I feel like he'd hit me with that, like, every time we see each other, and then would want to fight, and I'd be like, no, thank you. But he's not my type. He's a little... It's the look in his eyes, that dead expression. It's not my thing. I'm not attracted to Ed Sheeran. Just kidding. It's just not my type. Toma. Toma. What a nice guy. This picture has Tarumaru on his head. It's so cute. I think Toma... I feel like not so many characters shouldn't be in this tier. I feel like I shouldn't have phrased this tier like this. I feel like I should have phrased this tier a little bit differently, because some questions asked makes it sound like I have issues with them. I don't technically have issues with any of the characters in this tier. Like I said, it's just, I feel like it would need more time to develop, or it would then not develop, or maybe they do have trauma. Toma doesn't really have trauma. I like Toma a lot, and I feel like we would get along really well, but I am kind of tempted to put him in this one, maybe just to balance it out a little bit. But also, I feel like he's really nice, you know, he could probably help around the house a lot, like, we could cook together, and that would be nice. I could see a atmosphere being married to Toma. But I'm just a little, maybe I'm just like a little less sure that it would be as good of a relationship as it would be with these guys, you know? Like, sure, it's kind of a sure why not, but like, I see it working out more than I see it not working out. Okay, Tainari. Where do I put my boy Tainari? Because the thing is, I actually really like Tainari as a character, and he's kind of funny, and I feel like there are aspects of his personality and my personality that would get along really well. Like, I feel like we would have that. But I kind of don't know if I would be into him, but I also feel like I would. I'll put him in sure why not. I'll just put him there. It's kind of the, I could see it working out, I could see us just being friends, kind of just depending on the circumstances. But like, I don't know, maybe it's just because he has the fox ears and tail that I'm just like, cute. I know a lot of people don't really like his design, but I don't know. His haircut reminds me of the haircut I used to have, like, when I was a kid. Actually, the haircut I had for, like, 20 years of my life before I decided to cut it shorter. People are like, I can't even see your real hair. That's fine. It's short. That's it. But yeah, I think Tainari goes in this sure, why not? I could see it working out. I could see it's just being friends. I like him well enough that I feel like it would, if we did do a romantic relationship, if we did go for this, it would be fine, but like, I'm fine with being friends with it. I think these characters I just feel more strongly about, like I would want to more. These characters I less care about in that way, but it's like, yeah, it's good enough for me. It would work. It would probably work. Venti to me is not my type. He's cool. He's an Archon. We chill. We vibe. But he's not really my type. Like I said, it's the same with like Lenny and Goro. To an extent, I feel like Goro is less of a twink. But like I said, Lenny, twinkish, not my type. Venti, also twinkish, not my type. I mean, people are probably gonna be like, Wanderer. But yeah, Venti, not my type. cool though. He can show me his like songs and I can rate them on a scale of 1 to 10 or something. I don't know. He can play the lyre and I'll just chill. We can just chill and hang out. He can get drunk. I will not drink. Like I said, I don't like alcohol. That's why Kai is right here. I don't like alcohol. He would find me. He's like, how can you dislike it? And I'll say, I don't like how it feels in my mouth. Because maybe that's why D-Luke and I get along so well, though. I would just be like, I don't like alcohol. And he's like, me neither. And we're like, oh my gosh. What? I just hit a button in my... Okay. But I think everyone's still here, so nothing... I didn't, like, change anything drastically. Wanderer? Oh, I think there was a time and a place where Wanderer would have gone in the second tier. When I was a little bit younger, probably. But I think now he's probably not my type. Or would he not like me? Wanderer's not very nice. He's kind of rude. So I kind of want to put him in this one because I feel like he would just be kind of mean to me. But I also feel like his rudeness isn't, like, actually rude. He just, like, is tsundere, I guess is how you'd say it. Like, he doesn't want to express his true feelings. And I feel like I would understand his true feelings, that he is, like, actually kind of nice. I like how it just gets wider. Like, it doesn't make, like, a second row. It just gets wider. But I'm gonna put him here. I'm gonna put Wanderer in the not my type, but we can be friends. We can hang out. Same with, like, all these other characters. We can hang out. It'll be chill. I just don't think Wanderer's my type, though. He's... I don't know. Again, he kind of leans toward the more twinkish look. But as a character, I really do appreciate him, so I would want to be his friend. Rasley. Ooh, Rasley. Ooh, I have him. He's one of my mains. And this picture is so... it's so good. Anyway, he's going in this one. I feel like this might have a little bit to do with, like, it would need a little bit of time to develop. Also, because he did, like, I can say kill. My channel's not monetized yet. But, like, we'll just say that. Since he did, like, kill his foster parents, which, I mean, when you learn why he did it, you learn, like, there was a just heart behind that action, but I'd also kind of want to be like, you're not gonna, like, kill people you think are doing a bad thing, right? You're not just gonna go around doing that, right? And if he's like, yeah, totally, then we do it. I feel like yeah, like I said, it would need a little bit of time and to develop, and then I would also have to be kind of assured that maybe any trauma he had from, like, early days in prison or, like, killing his foster parents, like, that all of that's been resolved, which I feel like it has, but, like, you know, we're talking in hypotheticals. Like, I've been put into Tevat, I don't know any of these people, and then I meet him, and then we get to know each other, like, and then he says, like, I killed people, and I'd be like, oh, but then you have to be like, don't worry, I don't do that anymore. So, yeah, he goes here. I could see it definitely working out. He's kind of a tease, isn't he? I feel like he kind of teases people, but in a drier humor type way, but I feel like we'd understand each other. He can drink all the tea he wants. I'll buy him all the tea. Xiao. Xiao. I feel like Xiao is one of these tiers. I'm not as enthusiastic about him as I probably once was, probably because we just had more characters come out. I think I'll put him in the sure, why not? I think this kind of goes along with, this is another one that I have a friend who really likes this character, and maybe he's more for them than for me. But I'm also going to put him in sure, why not, because I feel like he and I would get along well enough. Like, we'd be friends, and we could potentially be more, but we'd have to, that would be a discussion that we'd have to have. And he has, like, trauma as well, so if he was gonna go in either of these tiers, he would go in this one, because everything he's been through as a Yaksha is traumatizing, I'm sure. So I feel like, sure, why not? I could see it working out, I could see it not working out, and I would be content either way. Because I feel like once we get to the point where we trust each other enough to go into a romantic relationship, it would be fine. Like, we'd be at a good place. I would have his trust, and I think that's probably really important for him, is people having his trust. Because he doesn't seem to trust very easily. He's very, like, protective and kind, of course, overall, but probably trusting people with his secrets isn't really his thing, so yeah, it would take some effort to get to this, to get to marriage, but I would also be fine with us just being friends and just hanging out in Liyue, and then, you know, bringing him almond tofu whenever I visit, sort of thing. Xingqiu goes in this tier for me. Too young. He's, in my opinion, you know, I think it's kind of like apparent that he and Chongyun are probably the same age. And if I put Chongyun in this tier, Xingqiu has to go in this tier. I was actually very tempted to make a tier called, like, he's too much like me and I hate his guts, and I was gonna put Xingqiu there. I don't actually hate Xingqiu, and he's a great character because of his kid. And he's actually, and I like him well enough as a character. I don't hate any of the Genshin characters. If I say I hate any of them, it's a joke. I don't mean it. But yeah. I've been told I'm similar to him, but in a way that I don't like. It's that happens very rarely too. Usually the characters who are similar to me, I like them because they're so similar to me, but he's kind of one of those characters I'm like, you're similar to me in a way I don't like. But he's my son, I guess. He can go here, and I use him in enough teams that he deserves recognition. So yeah, he goes here. He's my son. Too young, but you know, I'll teach him how to write properly, I guess. And then Zhongli. Where does Zhongli go? I feel like Zhongli kind of similar to Xiao. I'm not as enthusiastic about him as I once was. Like, there was a time where Zhongli was one of my favorites. But I feel like he is my type, so he would go in probably kind of similar to Xiao. I could see him in either of these tiers. Maybe I'll put him in this one. We balance it out just a little bit. But I think for this one, it's like, I would marry him. I think we'd have a nice life together. But maybe it's kind of similar to what I talked about, like, even though Nervillet isn't an Archon technically, but he kind of is. Even though I put Nervillet in this tier, I feel like we'd have to talk about, like, so you live forever, right? And, like, are you okay with marrying someone who would pass away later in life? Is that not weird to you? I mean, you know, there's a layer of, that's kind of weird, but I feel like we'd also have to talk about, like, Archon War, stuff like that. I'd have to be like, okay, like, what's your opinion on Conria? By the way, I'm married to Dainsleif. No. I also think it's probably another one of those things where maybe we would just need a little bit more time for things to develop between us. He strikes me as a guy who's very content no matter what. So, like, you could friend zone him and he'd be, even if he was interested in you, and he'd be like, that's fine, as long as you're happy. Which is why he's such a good character. Like, that's why he's so nice. Like, he would just be content at any point in life. But maybe because of that, if I never said anything, like, if I never confessed and he was interested in me, he would probably never bother to, like, try. I don't know. That's what I mean by, like, content. That's also why maybe it would take a little bit more effort than putting him in this tier, because I feel like he would just be content to be friends, and it would just probably maybe assume I'm not interested because I'm not someone who displays my emotions very openly. IDK, what's going on? But Ito is S tier. I'm saying I'm not marrying Ito. I don't want to marry Ito. This is the tier list is this romance. But yes. But that's all of them, I guess, because yeah, Zhongli goes here because I just feel like it would take a little bit more. Oh, MDM, this is a simp tier list. It is a simp tier list. Look how many characters are my sons. Look how many characters I've adopted. It's a lot of characters, isn't it? But I just finished, so if this was like personality tier list, Ito would probably go higher because he's just so goofy. But yeah, I just finished off. I put Zhongli in this tier. Now, do I want to organize this? I've adopted at least half of the cast, and some of them are grown adults. Yeah, that's kind of my thing, is that I feel like... I was saying that, like, Ether is kind of a weird one, because I feel like the Traveler you can put as an adult or as a child, so just for safety reasons, he's here instead. Gaming, I'm a little unsure of his age, but he goes here. IDK, if they're 5,000-year-old, that's my child. I don't know, I don't care. I don't know if they're fine, yeah. I know, that's kind of like my whole, like, even though Nervilette's probably like 500 years old, I'm like, it's fine. It would work out, but then I'm over here with Zhongli like, I don't know, we'd probably have to talk about the fact that he's an Archon and see how that works out, like, you know? But, and like, Dainsleif has been alive for a long time, but he's in this tier because he has trauma. He is a foxy grandpa, you're good. Thank you. Dainsleif has trauma. Aoife doesn't have trauma, I just don't feel as strongly about him as I do with these guys. So. Rawr. See, Zhongli, you'd have to be rich to pay for all his stuff. True. I'd have to be like, listen, Zhongli, you need to bring your wallet with you when we go out. I can't pay for everything. I'm not rich. Even though I want to be rich. It wouldn't work. Trauma makes them hotter, apparently. What do you mean? Dead dad, mom remarried and moved to Fontaine. Isn't a real human. Watched his Archon die in front of him. Watched his dad die in front of him. Watched his friend die in front of him. Plays Invocation TCG. Good thing I was dropped as a kid a lot because I have a lot of blunt force trauma, which makes me extremely hot from inflammation. Bruh, inflammation, so real. Has trauma. Doesn't have trauma. He's just a guy. I love Aoife, but I don't love him that much. Toma. I don't know if Toma has trauma. He lived in Inazuma. He almost got killed by the Raiden Shogun, I think, so that's something. Wriothesley killed his foster parents, or something like that. Zhongli lived in a war. But yes, that's kind of it. I kind of did everything I meant to do here. I used a website called OpenTierBoy.com instead of the tier list maker website, mainly because I don't remember, but I feel like the tier list maker website forces you to make like an X/Twitter account, which I think I technically have one, but I never remember the login for it, so I just pretend like I don't have one. So shout out to this website because there are no ads, first of all. No ads. That's wonderful. I love that. And, you know, getting all the images uploaded was easy. I didn't have to log into X or Twitter or Facebook or something, which I've, you know, so. Exactly. Imagine having a Twitter account. Gross. So I was like, I didn't have to log into anything. I could just create my own tier list, and I could name it whatever I want. And it's easy to use. The only thing I don't like is that you only have a couple of options between rows. I have 3, 5, and 7. So that's kind of why I have the bruh IDK tier, because I was like, I needed an extra tier, an extra row. And Dahlia, like I said, I don't know much about Dahlia, so he goes down here. Wriothesley is British, Nervilette is French. That's true. But it's not like trauma. I mean, this is the tea. Actually, I don't drink tea, so that's why Wriothesley and I may have some issues. I don't like tea. I like coffee. But maybe that's why it works. He drinks tea, I drink coffee, and we call it good. We don't have to fight over that. So, yeah, that's it. This is the less delusional tier list. I do want to make a delusional tier list as well. Maybe I should do that. The delusional tier list, they're all gonna be up here. But I feel like the delusional tier list, I would need more, maybe less tiers, actually. The suns would be in the same ones. I guess the only thing that would make the tier list delusional is putting Ayato up here. And then probably putting Risley up here and then moving, like, Eve lower. Because, like, some of these characters, it's... yeah. Like, some of the characters I have up in these tiers, it's like, I don't actually like them that much. But I just know it would work. Risley likes tea instead of coffee. He, just like me for real, tea gang, rise up. Coffee is not as good. Oh, maybe I should make a poll. And then all 2 people in the chat can vote. One of them is me, by the way, so it doesn't even count. What is this song? Why is heavy metal playing? Come Alive. Oh, this is from ZZZ. Okay. Banger. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do the delusional. Okay, I don't want to delete the character. I'm gonna put them all back real quick, and then I'm gonna speedrun a Delulu tier list for everyone because I know how to do that. Me making an alt account just so T can rightfully win. I'm not actually gonna make a poll, so don't worry. It's not gonna happen. But now they're not gonna be in alphabetical order, unfortunately. Oh gosh. Hey, maybe if I learned how to click properly. I don't know why Zhongli's going there. I don't know why they're doing that thing, but sure, you guys can go wherever you want. They were in alphabetical order when I uploaded all of them. That was the order, that's why Zhongli was last, but Toma's just gonna be last. Poor Toma. Actually, you know what? I can try to put someone in here. It wants to put them right here for some reason, so, you know, they go down here now. I'm gonna speedrun a Delulu tier list. Thanks, Streambot. I thought my stream elements was broken, but it turns out switching between Twitch and YouTube just deletes, like, everything. John Lee. Yeah, it's spelled with a J, my bad. Okay, Kaveh still goes here. Hazo, I don't think he's really he might still be in the same tier, though. His hangout quest is kind of sus, which kind of makes me go, maybe. But I kind of also don't know if he's my type overall. Like, he's probably a little bit too strange. Sun, Bridey Case, Sun. I'm putting all the... I shouldn't have taken these guys out of the tier list. Actually, I think my opinion on Ether is kind of like, I don't know. I think I don't know is a better opinion to have on him. Kaya would probably go here instead. Ayato, it's delusional, so he goes here. Ito, still not my type. Tartaglia. I kind of want to put him here just because I feel like I would never want to fight him and he would be like, I hate you. Yeah, aren't you so surprised I put Kaveh at the top? So surprising. No one saw my 2 mains, like 2 of my favorite characters going up here. Lenny, still not my type. Kanich, not my type, right? I think that's where he was before. Wanderer, I'm gonna put Wanderer in, sure, why not? I said not my type before, but like, I don't know. He can move up a tier for nothing, for no reason. Goro, still not my type. Baiju. This is delusional, right? So, not my type. Albedo, Hand in Marriage. Zhongli. I think he still goes here. Xiao is probably a little bit more delusional. Alhaitham. Sure, why not? Tainari. I would ask about the mushrooms. No. Auroron. Okay, overall, Auroron's not my type. He was in the sure, why not, because I feel like it could work out, but I think overall he's less my type. Nervulette. Okay, yeah. Diluc. I would actually probably put him down here. I like Diluc, but I don't like him as much as probably putting him in this tier at first would suggest. I don't know if I'd really want to marry him, but like, I just know it would work out. Ugh. Kazuha. I feel like I said, Kazuha's fallen in priority for me as a favorite character. Like, I like him as a character. He's more of a comfort character, so sure, why not for him. Sino, sure, why not. Risley. Dainsleif. Aoife. Toma. Bridey K. I feel like Toma, I'll put him in the same tier as before. This is the delusional tier list. Notice that some of the characters in the top tier aren't there anymore. Some of them stayed there though, like Kaveh and Albedo and Nervulette, because I feel like no matter what, that's not too delusional. But these are, you know, these are the characters that it would probably work, and I like them well enough that I would want to make it work. Characters that I'm like, sure, maybe, why not? And then Tartaglia is here for who knows. Why did your delusion tier list feel more strict than your normal one? Well, you do have a point. There are more characters here than like here. But I explained every character very in depth because this is based on like how much I like the characters, I think. Where the first one was based on like, do I think we'd actually get along really well? I was probably a little bit, but I put Ayato in that I don't think he'd like me very much tier list the first time though, so I feel like I wasn't being too delusional, you know. I feel like that was pretty sound, you know. This one is just, I like a lot of characters that I'm like, rah, marriage or whatever, I don't know. I don't know what people do when they like someone romantically, and I wouldn't know. Again, I like them well enough. Yeah, sure. I don't know. Actually, I'll hate them low-key, still not really my type, but I kind of want to keep him there just because he's hot, so... So the second one is the who have you looked up sketchy art of the most tier list. It is not. It's not. I don't look up sketchy art. I don't really look up art anymore. I used to look up art more often for the game, but I feel like I don't anymore. I think I'm also just on social media less, so I have less outlets to do that. Anyway, this is the delusion tier list. That's it for this video, guys. I don't really have anything else to say, so yeah, we're calling it quits here because this once we get to the delusional tier list, we're at the end here, so I'm gonna go ahead and say this is it for this video. If you enjoyed the video, consider liking and subscribing to the channel. This will become a video later, so you can say, hi YouTube. No, you can't. I'm probably going to end the stream before that happens. But if you like this video, consider liking and subscribing, and I will see you guys later.